might unknowingly be sabotaging your agency's success. After helping hundreds of agencies scale past 7 figures, I've seen the same 5 mistakes again and again that inhibit agency growth. Number 3 is actually the silent killer that almost every single agency does, and they don't even know about it. Hey, I'm Jackson. I went through these same 5 mistakes while scaling my agency to 7 and 8 figures. If you're serious about scaling your agency without the burnout, you're in the right place. If you like this video so far, click the like button, subscribe. Let's get into it. So number 1 mistake that almost every single agency makes is chasing every client. When you're starting out, it's tempting to say yes to everyone, but not every client is a fit, and taking on misaligned clients drains your energy, your team resources, etc. So when we first started out, I know that we would literally, any person, whatever they wanted, we would try to give it to them, and we weren't equipped to do it. We didn't have one set SOP and structure that we were actually going to deliver a certain type of result. We were just trying to say yes to everyone. Someone would say something like, hey, could you do this? Could you do that? Could you create us a website? Could you book appointments? Could you do this specific thing that we weren't equipped to do? But we were so hungry to get clients at first that we would basically just spread ourselves so thin because every client needed something different. So by chasing all these yeses, we actually weren't able to serve the clients with the structure that was aligned to what we were actually trying to deliver as a service. And because of that, if we had just focused on those clients, we would have been able to deliver a lot of value to them and keep them. But because we were saying yes to everyone and chasing everyone, it spread our team super thin. Additionally, the clients that were actually just wanting the service that we were mostly trying to deliver and we were best at, we were underserving them because we were so focused on trying to do all of these different things that we weren't equipped to do. So when you're first starting out, it's the shiny object. You just want clients to say yes. You just want them to pay you. I can tell you from experience, that is not the right way to go. As we've helped other agencies, niching into what service you're actually going to provide is the best scenario for you, because if you don't, you're basically going to spread your team too thin. You're going to spread yourself, and you're not going to actually get good at one particular piece of a service, like generating leads, creating copy, etc. You are just going to become one of many that does a bunch of different things but doesn't do one thing really well. The second mistake is that there is no clear niche or positioning. So this is 2 different parts to this. So the first part of it is that you don't have a niche. So a niche, and you could have sub niches under a niche. A niche could be, a subsect of a business style. So there's home service, and then you could do roofing, or you could do windows, or you could do a sub niche, right, where you could do window replacement or window repair, or a certain type of roofing like rubber roofing. That's niching down. You don't want to niche down too much, but when you go into offering any type of service, by having such a broad offering to so many different businesses, you're not going to narrow down on the pain points and get very good at creating templates or copy or understanding the market for that specific niche and industry, which is just going to leave you where you are not going to deliver the service to keep the clients in the way that you need to. So picking a specific niche. And the second part of it is the positioning. That's a big mistake. So the positioning is that, are you the cheapest? Are you the fastest? Are you the most reliable? Like, what is your specific positioning? Like, what do you offer that's different than everyone else, so that you're not just one of the swath of agencies that they're picking from? So typically positioning allows you to either charge more or have a way or USP, unique selling proposition, that puts you over your competition. So for example, you could generate leads, and instead of, like everyone else where it takes a 2-week time frame, you could be known and position yourself as someone that can get people approved through, Facebook ads, Google ads, because you have templates, and get them leads the same day. You have a templated funnel, you have a templated ad copy, you have templated creatives, and you can get them leads same day. Or you could be an agency that is positioned to just be full funnel. You help with the creatives, you help with the copy, you help with the appointment booking, you help to make sure that the handoff to the sales people is correct. Like, there's different positioning, but if you do not have any positioning, then again, you're just one of the many, and there's no differentiation for them them to choose you. Additionally, like I said before with the niche, is that if you don't position yourself and you don't sector down, you are going to be someone that does not get very good at whatever it is that your positioning is. So not only does it help with branding and the client or potential client knowing what it is that you're offering that's different than everyone else, it's also that your team isn't going to be able to focus on that, and you're not going to be able to create scalable SOPs, standard operating procedures, and really be able to get very good at delivering that particular service if you don't even know what it is. The client's not going to know what it is, and if you and your team don't know what it is, you're not going to be able to be the upper echelon of the market for that specific position. Number three, which is huge, which I've seen so many times, is referrals. Referrals are great, but they're super unpredictable. Obviously, if you're delivering a good service, you could standardize at certain touch points where to ask for referrals, but to be able to scale and grow, you need a system that isn't just based on referrals. So a lot of agencies that we work with, they come in and they're all referral based. They have no outbound, they have no ads, they have no inbound, and being based only on referrals, it's very unpredictable. You could have 10 referrals one month, you can have 0 referrals the next month, and it makes it very difficult for you to scale and grow and basically continue your revenue growth. So companies that come into us or look to us to help them while they're growing these agencies, when they are based on referrals, usually the next step that we try to implement is a system to do outbound, right? So referrals are great. You want to systematize referrals so you know certain touch points where the intent is the highest. Your client got the first sale. That's probably the best point to ask for a referral, right? They're at their peak. You deliver on your promise. You have validated your service. That's a great point to ask for a referral. And that's somewhere that you could standardize that for all your salespeople, for your customer success. But you additionally want to add on things. And the next logical step is to do outbound. So outbound is, LinkedIn outreach, Facebook outreach, cold email, etc. There's a ton of different ways. You could do Facebook ads, you could do Google ads, you could do webinar, you could do a bunch of different stuff, but relying only on referrals is going to cause your company to be very unstable with its actual growth. The fourth mistake I always see is underpricing services. So just like we went into with the positioning, is that if you underprice your service, if your USP is that you're the cheapest, there's a bunch of different things that you're going to hit as roadblocks that are going to make it very difficult to actually either have profit and revenue or deliver a service that's going to keep that client around long term, because you are going to have to constantly cut costs and cut corners and actually delivering the service, right? So as an agency, your whole job, you could look at cost per lead, you can look at cost per appointment, you can look at a bunch of different metrics, but your whole job is to generate rep for the company, right? It's all based on cost per acquisition. Are you profitable with your marketing? Is your marketing profitable so by underpricing your services, you leave very little room for you to actually make profit and revenue. And I've seen this in so many different agencies. They come in and they're like, hey, we make 50 or 100K a month. We're losing a bunch of clients, right? So they're spending money or they're getting referrals. So they're kind of backfilling, they're stagnant. Additionally, what's actually happening is that because they're having to cut so many corners, and it's great that they use templates or SOPs, they aren't able to staff correctly. So they don't have a customer success team to get feedback and limit churn. They don't have the resources to actually deliver a top quality service. So they're not getting the appropriate results for their clients. They're signing a bunch of new clients because they're so cheap, but there's no extra profit in the business for the owners. And additionally, to actually hire the people that are A players to actually deliver the service that's differentiated from all their other competitors. So they just become one of many, like many of the other mistakes that are in. And the fifth and last one is not building a team early enough. So once you sign your first few clients, if you're just starting out, obviously it's exciting. You have this new revenue that's coming in. You want to quit your job. And yes, you can be a one-man show at first for a while, but by not being able to build a team early enough, you don't set up the appropriate structure for when you're ready to scale. So So when you first start out, and it's just you, especially if you're doing the media buying, the first thing that I would suggest is find a junior media buyer if you're actually running ads or whatever, building funnels, is to have someone to take that off so you can do sales. The second person is probably to set up your own appointment setter because you're your best salesperson. So the strategy is usually to have a media buyer who could do most of the work and you could check over it if you're running your own ads, if you're at that point. The next best hire is usually an appointment setter who could just take in whatever, if it's outbound, if it's ads, who could take those clients or potential clients and book them for you because you're the best salesperson. After that, it's to actually train a commission-based salesperson to actually take over the sales calls for you. So once you have those three in place, then it's just scaling out the org chart. But I see so many agency owners who are just totally burnt out. They're working 80 hours a week. They can't scale, but they're making a decent amount of money, but they're doing everything. And by not being able to build around that team, be able to have some time where that team can actually learn, get better at their job, focus on one thing instead of you, the business owner, focusing on everything, they never get to where they can actually scale because that person can only dedicate so many hours, right? If you're a business owner and you're doing all of these different things, setting the appointments, building your own ads, right? Or outbound, building the ads for the clients, the funnels, etc., is you're only giving 5 to 10 hours a week to each individual thing, and you're not becoming an expert in anything. You're just, decent at everything. So by hiring these people strategically at first, you're able to take these things off your plate and focus on the biggest thing, which is working on your business instead of in your business, like everyone says. But you're actually able to focus on the revenue producing activities that will allow you to scale. So again, what we typically see is people come in, there may be 1 or 2 people who are co-founders, they kind of split positions. The first position that I would, if you do run your own ads and do a different type of agency, is the hire a junior media buyer that you kind of oversee and you teach your strategies and how you're generating leads if you're getting consistent results for your clients. The second would be an appointment setter, and the third would be a commission-based salesperson. Now, if you're serious about avoiding these mistakes and fast tracking your agency growth, I have a different video that goes into exactly how we scaled our agency if you want to click here. If you like this video and you got value from it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so that I can provide you guys with more value on growth strategies just like this. See you in the next video.